In this video again, I come back to physics underlying brain activities without any description of any type of consciousness, either perception, feeling, or cognitive awareness about it. Strain energy through the brain, especially the cortex, has a center focus in kinematics of brain activity subject, and I will put a stress on that in different presentations to remind its importance. This is the first public presentation I had in 2012 in San Francisco annual meeting of IASD. In the left column, a physical description, and in the right column, a psychological uh, description based on physical phenomena will be explained against each other. In waking time, viscoelastic brain tissues absorb strain residuals, and in sleep, confined stress residuals will be consumed in consolidating short-term memory components in shape of long-term memory units. In deep sleep stage, of course, and consolidating the connection between the memory units in streamlines during the dreaming stage of terms in psychology and mechanics are not very strange in some basic terms. In this slide, equivalent terms are used in these two different fields will be compared. For example, the term memory is a common term not only used in psychology but have a similar meaning in principle in mechanics. Memory units against a piece or a complete memory have different type of the neural sites. Memory units are spread over the cortex and are more localized, where a memory piece is the connection of activated memory units along certain streamlines that strain energy streams had followed or is following through them. Strain energy flux through streamlines depend on density and population of connectivity in a structural aspect. Functionally, the strain energy follows seek naturally a strain balance state all over the brain. They approach an energy attractor lines over the cortex. Those there are local, intermediate, and global neural communication that recall memory units and make fragment of the memory units by decoding information or if considering a full brain activity, integrating the memory units in a global scale. If a memory unit is supported by a group of tens of connectivity locally, a memory piece may utilize hundreds to thousands of them longitudinally. This, of course, depends on type and length of the memory. A collection of the memory units that support a memory is called an engram. Memory units will activate and combine to generate a thought during waking, location by location and cumulatively. The generated thoughts leave strain residuals depending on viscoelastic property of applied locations. Accumulation of the strain residuals will degrade uh, viscoelastic property on those locations, and of course this property is essential for any brain activity. Sleep in deep stages will relieve the cortex location uh, strain residuals by using them uh, for reconfiguration and encoding the waking information units. Sleep dreaming stages will relieve streamlines from strain residuals by distribution and consolidating connection between local consolidated memory units. Those memory recall in waking and memory consolidation in sleep are complementary to each other, and together they improve the brain capability to form wider range of thoughts and faster as well. Stress has two types of external inputs from environment pressures and internally generated by gradient of the strain residuals over the cortex. It maintains potential to make strain energy to move and travel around the cortex with higher driving force. In mechanics, strain production and straining are results of strain forces. Those strain energy streams occur because of serial straining of neural assemblies around the cortex. This energy traveling seems like the move of a snake or a worm uh, that compress and expand itself along the way. Different cortex areas, because of different neural type, size, and connectivity configurations, show different straining behaviors. Those their specialty differs. Overstrains in any area will induce its own shape of emotion, although the amygdala and hippocampus in the limbic system are the centers that sense those observations. I mentioned in beginning that a memory unit is an activated neural connectivity in a location that related neurons fire in the same time when exposed to a stimulating stress force. Indeed, stress and strain are traveling like a field, say like electromagnetic field that have a backup of the electrochemical message transfers. In other words, strain energy is not as localized as the electrochemical phenomena. Those straining field along strain energy flow will make same time firings of groups of the firing in series possible. Those activated memory units will be uh, tied together and make a chain to form a brain activity. In this slide, the physical phenomenon during waking time is summarized. Red boxes are about non-linear strain flows, and those uh, non-linear strain flows will leave strain residuals in locations and their connecting points. The same concept is repeated in this slide, but instead of the physical terms, psychological terminology is used. These two slides may repeat in different presentations because they are basic explanation of the theory. Here in this slide shows experimental MRI about location which are activated in a waking time and related location in a sleep time. I see that as a good proof of my theory of connection between the waking activities and sleep activities. As a conclusion, I see the connection between waking and sleep activities very much. The continuity theory explains the same concept, waking activity as thoughts, and sleep activities, including dreams, are connected together. The linking media between these two activities in psychological term is emotion therapy, and in physical term it is production and consumption of the strain residuals in waking and further to the MRI scan mapping of connection between waking and sleep activities in previous slides. I examine my own dreams for connection between waking and sleep relation, and a statistical measured correlation was shown as figures in this slide. This is an artwork that demonstrates when reasoning in waking thoughts have not arrived in a conclusion, they leave strain residuals and a different type of reasoning in the subconscious state of the sleep will be seen and will be saved to support the future thoughts and reasoning. And this this possibility is expanded by memory building. I'll see you in next video. Don't forget to ask your question by sending email to mos.dini@gmail.com.